Hello everybody, I'm alpacapatrol, and this is my new Grab the Land that's running back another custom challenge run. This run is brought to you by Blackwing722, and essentially, it's called Mutated Alpaca, which means that I have every syringe in the game. I think I have every syringe in the game. I have like Roid Rage, and like Speedball, and Growth Hormones, and I don't know what the other one is. I always forget, man. The syringes, I always forget. But essentially, we basically just have all of the syringes, and I'm supposed to skip the first two treasure rooms. Pretty much. Which is fine. You know, it's not that big of a deal. I can live without the first two treasure rooms. I feel like a natural woman, I'll tell you that much. No, I feel like I'm like super duper fast because of all those syringes. Which is good and bad. I wish I just had a tears up, I'll say that. But yeah, so I'm skipping the first two treasure rooms, which is fine. I can deal with that. I can live with that. That works. All the syringes in the game are pretty darn good, I will say that. And essentially, what I have to do is I have to talk about genetic mutation. Which, you know, I'm not necessarily a big knower of facts on the subject. I am, oh wow, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of nuts! Alright, that's pretty darn good that we just got, that. Let's just pop into the shop and see what we got. Hey, we got a map! I'll take the map. Map's good. I'll take the blue heart, too. Because why not? And anyway, I suppose we'll move on to the next floor. So yeah, the genetic mutation. Interesting subject. I know a little bit more about genetic augmentation. I took a class, well, not really about that. Really more of a bioethics class than anything else. And by really more of that than anything else, I mean that's what the class was. It was a class on bioethics. Which, bioethics, in case you didn't know, is like sort of a, the idea of, it's sort of like what, like for instance, we talked about stuff like euthanasia. And we talked about genetic augmentation, whether or not it's wrong, a couple things, like, there's also the whatchamacallit, the artificial wombs and stuff. So you have stuff like that to consider. Oh god. And basically how an artificial womb would work, by the way, is, this has nothing to do with genetic augmentation, but it's something that I find really interesting. Oh, come on. We were just too fast. That's why we got hit by that bullet, essentially. Yeah, so what I like is butts. No, artificial wombs, essentially, there's a period in, pregnancy where two clubs doubles are bombs. There's a period during pregnancy in which the infant, well not the infant, the fetus, essentially, is very, very easily exposed to all of the horrible elements. During that period, it's sort of important to not eat horrible things, or, you know, ingest horrible things. Even just, like, breathe air of horrible places. Like, breathing the air of New York would have horrible carcinogenic effects on the fetus. And what I mean by it has the most effect in that time is, essentially, that's when basically birth defects and stuff like that happen. Wow, I'm actually going to use probably the, my D6 on Lump of Coal. Probably. I mean, the damage up is always good, but something else could also be amazing, so, no buts. So yeah, because of that, there's a possibility where you get pregnant, you conceive of a fetus, you have the blastocyst, you basically get it removed from, your body, and put into an artificial womb. And there, it's cared for by doctors and stuff, and given basically the best it could possibly, the best treatment it could possibly be given. You don't have to worry about any kind of accidents, where miscarriages are going to occur. You don't have to worry about anything carcinogenic getting into the baby's, body. Oh, come on. You don't have to worry about any of those things. Oh, god dang it. Alright, let's re-roll this. We got Guppy's tail. I don't want Guppy's tail at all. I'm gonna see if I can... No, can't go back. Alright, well, I rolled the dice. I literally rolled the dice. That's what I just did. I wanted to see if I could get something other than the Lump of Coal. Not that the Lump of Coal was bad, but, you know, it can re-roll to any devil item. And unfortunately it re-rolled to Guppy's tail. I was hoping for, like, the Pact or something. That would have been nice. But, we are actually gonna go over to the, secret room. Actually, I'll go in here, too. Hey, wow, that worked out real well. Cool. Alright, so we'll also go to the shop then, which is nice. But I will go in here real quick, see what we got. We got Dad's key. Well, I would really like to re-roll that, but I guess I'll just pick it up. And then... Oh, no, I can't use it to open up the double room. Unfortunately, that's fine. Whatever, we'll just move on. But, oh, butts! I didn't want to use a fucking key there. That's a bummer. Anyway, whatever. We'll go in here. Yeah, we'll take that. We'll probably... Well, we can't buy the key, never mind. But I would have bought the key had I had the money. So yeah. Anyway, artificial womb. Put the baby in an artificial womb. It's cared for. It's given all the proteins and all the basically nutrients that it needs. And it could be completely sort of looked after in that way. Now, a lot of people have a problem with that, and the problem that they have with that is that, oh, well, you know, I want to have an emotional attachment to my baby or whatever from, you know, being pregnant and having it inside of you. You know, obviously, I don't know that feeling because I'm a man, and I don't really understand that, but I mean, honestly, were I in the position, I feel like I would prefer to, you know, let my child have the best possible chance at life. And honestly, an artificial womb is something that, one, we can do right now, and it's also something that is better for a child. But, you know, it's one of those things that it's sort of, it's basically going to take our generation to die. Is how that's going to get through, because I have a feeling that that kind of thing, even genetic augmentation in general, is going to be the kind of thing that our generation is not going to be particularly sound on. Like, we're not really going to be into that kind of thing, which is unfortunate, because I mean that's sort of the whole thing about this video, right? With genetic augmentation. Well, I mean it's about genetic mutation. I don't really know. Like I said, I don't really know much about genetic mutation necessarily. Fuck it. We'll do that, re-roll it, crack the sky. Also don't want that, that's pretty shitty. So we'll, I don't know, use crack the sky. Whatever, we're not gonna use it for anything else. Let's go use the D6. In these next couple of rooms here. I suppose I might as well go, oh god. God, this is dangerous, man. So yeah, so genetic augmentation is an interesting sort of topic, because it's sort of basically what you're doing is you're being able to give humans a trait at birth that they wouldn't normally have otherwise. Now, it's the kind of thing that we can sort of remove disease from the equation in a lot of ways. We can remove oh come on, we can remove a lot of problems. Like for instance, I think in one of the other times that I've talked about this subject, wow, how did we not take damage there? We probably should have. But anyway, so in another episode where I talked about this subject, I talked about BRCA1, BRCA2. Those are the two genes that are very important to know if you have. So, if you're a woman, if you're a man too, but it's very, very rare in men. But if you're a woman, you can go to the doctor, you can get a gene test, and you can find out if you have the genes BRCA1 or BRCA2. If you have BRCA1 or BRCA2, that means you have a 95% chance to contract breast cancer. That's just how it is. That's just what those are. Now, there are a lot of problems with this. One of the main problems with this is there are no privacy laws on gene stuff right now. There's none whatsoever, and there needs to be. But I mean, it makes sense that there aren't, or that it's difficult to do that kind of a thing, because the human genome was only mapped in 2005, so it hasn't really been, you know, around that long. The kind of technology that we have to understand that. And now, what I mean by gene privacy laws is, I mean, say you go get that test, right, and you find out that you do have BRCA1 or BRCA2. Then essentially, you will have learned that, and it's great. You could do preventative measures so that you don't have BRCA1 or BRCA2. However, that also means that all of your insurance companies, all of your doctors, all of those people have access to that information now, which means a lot of things. It means that they can legally raise your premiums. They could legally raise how much money you have to pay on your insurance, because there is a very high likelihood, a 95% chance likelihood, in fact, that you will contract breast cancer. And, you know, in a lot of ways, it makes sense, because, I mean, really, an insurance company, they're betting on you not being like essentially an insurance company is what an insurance company is they're a gambling company, right? And they're gambling that you're not going to get that sick. They're not going to have to pay for that much medical care, and they're betting that you will pay more every year. I mean, with your annual fees to the company than you will ever take from them, right? That's essentially how the insurance company works. So, if you have BRCA 1 or BRCA 2, then that's just a really bad bet. That's like betting a 7 deuce when there's 3 aces on the flop. You know what I'm saying? So it's sort of I'll re-roll that. I might re-roll that. I probably will, actually. But yeah. So it's sort of a odd thing. So it's good to know, yet it's also dangerous to know, because, you know, then there are a lot of things. But there are other preventative measures that you can take. Like, for instance, I actually don't know the whole thing. I know that I heard anyway that Angelina Jolie removed her breasts recently because apparently she didn't have breast cancer, but there was a high chance that she would get it. I haven't read the story, but I'd have to imagine what she found is she did the gene test and she found out that she had BRCA 1 or 2. That's what my guess is anyway. I mean, I'm probably totally wrong. I haven't read anything about it, but I know that she preemptively removed her breast so that she didn't have the breast cancer. Makes sense. I mean, that's the kind of thing that you can do. I mean, it'll lead to your survival, so, you know, that it's good, but it's also bad because, you know, then you're gonna have to. It's not obviously paying high premiums on insurance is not something that Angelina Jolie has to concern herself with, but a normal person probably does. Now, here's the thing: we can know right now today if you are pregnant and you do amniocentesis and you do a gene test on your fetus, you can know if your fetus has BRCA 1 or BRCA 2, and if it is considered ethical or right, or if it's allowed, basically, they can remove those genes. They can say no more BRCA 1, no more BRCA 2, no more 95% chance to contract breast cancer. Now, a lot of people say that with gene augmentation that's unethical, right? That changing nature or whatever is unethical. It's real dumb, honestly. This is how I feel about that opinion. I think that's real dumb. I think it's unethical to be able to know that a person is going to die of a horrible disease later on in life, and being able to stop it, and saying for as an acquiescent cop-out that it's wrong to change it and you can't save them preemptively. I think that's unethical. Now, here's generally the rule, right? Or not the rule, but the argument is that, oh well, it's against nature, right? You know, nature intended you to have these sorts of traits. So, I mean, it sucks, but hey, that's nature. You gotta just deal with it. Well, I mean, that's a load of bullshit, because you probably take a bunch of medicine all the time, and you're going way against nature. For instance, here's the thing. Oh my god, we're getting a bunch of shitty items. Whenever I have the D6, man, a lot of times I'll just get bad items over and over and over again. Did I bomb my way into the secret room? I don't think I did. Let's go in here. Yeah, essentially, that's a load of bullshit. Because, think about this, for instance, okay? Yes, it is unnatural. But, if you can save people, then why would you not? I don't really understand that. Because, for instance, there are some downsides to saving people from illnesses. Here's an example. Diabetes. If we hadn't discovered that insulin saves people with diabetes, right? Do you think people would still have diabetes? Oh god. The answer is no, they would not, because the trait would disappear. Basically, the trait would kill off all the people with it, or with the gene to have it. Oh yeah, I'll use two diamonds. They would kill off all the people with the gene to have it, and then it would stop being passed on because they would no longer procreate. The gene would die. Same with every other gene that leads to another kind of illness. Those would die. But we have the ability to save those people. We are breaking nature, right? That's what we're doing by giving them treatment. And we are also making these diseases oh god, we got a health down. It's unfortunate. We're also making these diseases last longer, right? I mean, these diseases will continue to pervade life and human beings. Now, here's the thing. Because of medicine, we are causing more diseases to stick around. We're causing more defects to be not weeded out of the population, right? Because normally, it's basically through a process of eugenics that diseases and bad genetic traits get weeded out. Fuck yeah, I'll take Polyphemus. But yeah, it's usually through that kind of thing that traits, negative traits, get weeded out. However, with the advent of modern medicine, we're not doing that anymore. People aren't dying from a lot of these illnesses. They simply, the traits are continuing, and we're being able to treat them. Now that's great. That's awesome. I'm okay with that. That's fine, because that means that one will probably be weaker as a species. However, we will have the ability to treat the people, so it doesn't really matter. You're saving people's lives. That's fine. But here's the thing: we can circumvent that issue with genetic augmentation, couldn't we? We could just, theoretically, just remove that evolution out of the equation. We can decide where evolution goes. Right? We can kind of figure it out what we want and what we don't want as traits in human beings and remove them. We can functionally make, like, disease immune humans is what we can do. Now that's real cool. I guess I'll take the sack of pennies. It's not that valuable anymore, but, you know, why not? It's something, I guess. Anyway. So yeah, it's something, you know, we can kind of circumvent evolution with genetic augmentation, and honestly, I find it kind of unethical not to do it. That's how I feel about it, is I really do find it unethical not to do it since we can. And we can do a bunch of crazy shit, by the way, how it works. Like how it works essentially is, or how we've made it work before, is you've probably seen them. You could look them up. Just look up bioluminescent rats. Gene scientists made a rat that is, or rats actually, that are bioluminescent, meaning that they naturally glow in the dark. Basically, they crossed it with fish genes, and they made a rat bioluminescent. Now, what does that mean? That means that we can actually make humans bioluminescent, because the reason that you do tests on rats is because behaviorally and physically, they're very similar to humans. Usually, it's pretty much most mammals, but I mean, you know, they're all pretty similar to humans, which is why you do the tests on rats. Also, really easy to do tests on rats. So that's the thing. We can make bioluminescent humans. We can make a person glow in the dark if we wanted to. However, you know, a lot of people would find that to be unethical. Which, you know, I don't know. If we can give people superpowers, if we give people the ability to, like, regenerate limbs, if we had that ability, I honestly think it would be unethical not to. But I guess that's just me. Because I feel like genetic augmentation is going to be one of those things that's going to be talked about, kind of debated over for a long time. Probably my entire life. God, the question is, do I take the Book of Revelations or do I take... I think I'm going to stick with the D6. I think I'm sticking with the D6. But yeah, it's the kind of thing that I think is going to be debated my entire life. I don't see the problem with it. In fact, I see problems with not doing it more than anything else. Because we could do a lot of things. With genetic augmentation, you can... like, if I wanted my son to be a basketball star when he grew up, it's very easy. All you have to do is change the genes to make his muscle fibers longer in his legs. That's all you need to do, right? And then he's automatically faster and stronger and can jump higher. That's just what I've done for my son, if I have that ability. And if I have that ability, why would you not do that, right? I mean, that's how I feel about it, is if you have that ability, why do you not use it? Now, the thing is, right, while I'm saying that this is all things that are possible, all things that we can do, I'm not lying to you, but I'm sort of, well, not even stretching the truth. We haven't really done a lot of it on humans, right? And the process of doing it on humans is probably going to be difficult. Now, does that mean that there has never been a genetically engineered human being? Well, not on record, no. But let's be honest, there probably has been. Most likely, there is already a genetically engineered human. That's like cloning as well. They said that, you know, they cloned the sheep. I forget what the name of the sheep was, but yeah, they cloned that sheep, and they got in a bunch of trouble for cloning the sheep, I think, which again doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. Yeah, so, and they said that they've never done it on humans. Yeah, it's possible that they never did it on humans, but they probably did. Let's be honest. Now, that kind of brings in another, because, I mean, this is another topic of genealogy, right, is cloning and stuff. Right, so, is cloning okay? Is cloning ethical? Again, I don't really see why it's not. It depends on what the purpose is, what the function is. Like, for instance, with say, meats and such, right? So you're cloning a sheep for, say, the wool, or you're cloning a cow for its meat, right? You're basically cloning it so that you can make a beast of burden, almost, right? Not a beast of burden, but a well, I mean, you can make a beast of burden. I mean, you could just make a bunch of horses as well. But I mean, you clone a. I'll take Mr. Mega. You're cloning a animal. Oh god, I probably shouldn't have come in here. I was thinking. Butts. I was thinking I would come in here for the charge on the D6, but I probably don't need it. Anyway, so you know, basically, you're saying that, oh, that's wrong or something because there was only supposed to be one of those things on the planet, and it's wrong to kind of just use them for their whatever, or whatever. One, we already do that. We already are using sheep for their wool. We're already using cows for their meat and their milk, and that is already the case. Now, here's the thing. We can make the perfect cow. Right? We can make the perfect cow, the cow that will provide the most meat, the most milk, the most what have you, right now. Not even through genetic augmentation, but I mean just from the cows that we have through breeding. We can make those, right? That's what we can do. And then we can clone the cow ad infinitum and have unlimited amounts of meat and unlimited amounts of milk and unlimited amounts of all those kind of things. Right? Well, I mean, obviously not unlimited amounts because you're also losing the resources for whatever it takes to clone. But you see what I'm saying? You can do all those things. Now, why would that possibly be wrong? Because essentially, you'd say, well, I mean, that's wrong to just say that there's this one perfect cow or whatever to use over and over again. I mean, the truth is that's something that we've always been shooting for anyway. I mean, that's eugenics, right? That's how you breed cows and breed horses and stuff. You breed the fastest, strong, like racing horses. The only reason racing horses exist and horses are faster is because you breed the fastest horse with the faster horse, right? I mean, that's essentially how it works. And over generations upon generations upon generations, you get the fastest horse that has ever existed. I guess I'll take that. The Sacrificial Dagger is pretty good. I don't feel like walking back and forth to all these rooms over and over again. So, I'll take it. But anyway, so yeah. So we've been doing that forever, right? I mean, and this sort of circumvents that issue, or not circumvents the issue, but makes the issue kind of non-existent. Is we don't have to wait for the multiple generations of great cows to make the perfect cow. We can make it right now. And that's the kind of thing that is, I don't know, it's just good for everybody. Not good for the cows, obviously, but good for humans. And that's really all I'm talking about here, with that cloning as well. Now, you could also clone humans, which, you know, is a possibility. It doesn't really serve much purpose. The thing that you could do with cloning that's actually real interesting is you can grow organ farms, essentially, which, you know, you don't grow the entire human, you just grow pieces. So essentially, you could just grow pieces of yourself. Like, say, if you had enough money, you could grow just a heart, right? From your own genes, and you could have a young, healthy heart that they could put inside of your body later on in life if your heart goes to shit, right? That seems pretty good. That seems pretty good. You're not going to have to worry about rejection because it's your body, technically. You don't have to worry about a lot of those kinds of things. You can just grow new parts from your genes, right? Oh dear. So I mean that's something that you could do with cloning. Now you could clone humans entirely, but the thing is that doesn't really you don't really gain much from that unless you're, I don't know, maybe cloning super soldiers or something. But even then, that's pretty unethical at that point. Because they're talking about humans here. Now, it really, I suppose, varies between, you know, what your personal preference is towards, or your disposition, rather, towards all these kinds of things. But I would consider that probably unethical, more than I would consider cloning a bunch of cows for meat unethical. But yeah, cloning a bunch of soldiers for fighting, probably pretty unethical. I mean, that's probably pretty unethical. I could see that being a big problem. I'm okay with not doing that. But, oh, god damn it. I hate getting stuck on the goddamn geometry, man. I've done that multiple times in this video. It happens when you're really fast, it seems. Is that you get stuck on the geometry, god damn it, more often, unfortunately. Oh, dicks. That's real bad. Alright, we have really low health. We could die, actually. Because I've been talking about genetic augmentation. Okay, luckily there's a heart there. I guess we're gonna have to go back and get some more hearts. Yep, said Daisy. Okay, I have to make sure that I'm not getting stuck on the wall on these things. But yeah, let's go back and get some more hearts. So, yeah, the cloning, I don't know. It's an interesting subject. There's a lot of things that you could do with it. Now, cloning doesn't work, by the way. In case people didn't know, cloning does not work the way that it's portrayed in movies. Like, for instance, you don't clone like you can't clone me. Well, I mean, not that you can't clone me. You can't clone me right now and have another me standing around. It's not multiplicity with Michael Keaton, right? You can't do that. That's not a thing that you can do. Just simply because that's not how it works. Essentially, how cloning works is you take, oh god, hold on a second. Sorry about that. Anyway, so you take, basically you're growing a new version of you. But you grow it from birth, so all of the things that you've learned or whatnot, or what have you, all the things that you are, that makes you you, are not really there, besides the physical things. So all the physical things are you, right? I mean, they'll grow into your body. The clone will grow. Basically, all of your phenology it will grow all of those things. But the oh, whoops! I should pick these up. You know, we could actually turn this into a lot of good items here right now, which is pretty cool. But anyway, so yeah. So that's the thing about cloning. Oh, I mean, the thing is, what do you really gain from cloning a human if you're not cloning like an organ farm? Probably nothing, really. In all honesty, like I don't know what you would really specifically gain from cloning a human, like getting another version of me out there in the world. Maybe if I were... Oh, butts. I'm gonna bomb my way out of this room. I want this charge. I want the D6 charge, man. So, yeah. So, you wouldn't really gain much from it. I mean, except for if you had some sort of a, you know, morbid fantasy with, getting another version of you out in the world for the next generation of people. Yeah, I might consider something like that. That would be an exercise in ego, I would think. But yeah, I mean, you know, it's not really the kind of thing that really solves too much. But, considering we already have a population kind of issue, not really an issue, but, yeah, a lot of people say overpopulation is an issue. It's an issue in some places, but it's not really an issue on, like, Earth, necessarily. There's still a lot of Earth to put humans on. We're not everywhere. We're basically everywhere, but we're not everywhere yet. So, yeah. The, oh god. I hate these things. Fucking shop greeds. Ugh. Die. Okay, good, good. We dealt with that issue. But yeah, so, I don't know. Lots of things. Cloning, interesting. Genetic augmentation, also equally interesting. We can do a lot of really cool shit. There's a lot of cool stuff that we can do that we're kind of experimenting with. Like, for instance, hibernation. So, one thing that we could do, theoretically... So there's a lot of problems with space travel, right? One of the problems with space travel is time dilation. Essentially, hey, we got Halo Flies. And the poop, which I guess I'll just pick up so we don't get it again. And I guess I'll use it. Because, hey, why not? Anyway, so yeah. Time dilation is one of the main problems. I've talked about time dilation in the past, however. So you guys know what the deal is with time dilation. We don't really have to worry about that. The other problem is how long it's going to take. So, according to, well, not really according to Einstein. Einstein never really said that you can't travel faster than the speed of light. Basically, what relativity says is that you have to have basically an infinite amount of power in order to move faster than the speed of light, or as fast as the speed of light. And you have to be without mass. Now, those things seem impossible, and that's why a lot of people say that faster than light travel isn't possible. But you know, you never know. That's just the rule, right? Is that you can't have mass to travel faster than the speed of light, right? That's essentially the rule. So we can figure out a way to circumvent that rule. Another way to do it is through a warp drive. But all that doesn't matter. Even if you're approaching the speed of light, which is what is suggested, is that you can get near the speed of light, but you can't quite get to the speed of light. That's sort of the suggestion. Is there, hold on. Is this a blood bank? No. It's a slot machine. Alright, that's unfortunate. But yeah, so you can kind of get near the speed of light. You can't get the speed of light. Theoretically, right? But however, even if you could approach the speed of light, which is what they kind of assume that we're going to be able to do, we can already kind of do it with a nuclear fission engine, by the way. The problem is how long it's going to take. Like, for instance, Alpha Centauri is what, I think 15 light years away? And that's the closest star system that we have. If we're just near the speed of light, even if we were traveling at the speed of light, that means that would take 15 years. Right? Because it takes 15 years for light to travel from Alpha Centauri to here. That's if that is correct, right? If that is the correct metric. So here's the problem. You're gonna have people, astronauts, flying in space, 15 years. They're gonna be completely different people by the time they get there. I mean, that's a good portion of a person's life, isn't it? So you can't really go anywhere for 15 years. I mean, unless you were planning on just chilling there. Like, you've decided that I am going to live on this spaceship for a portion of my life, and then I will live at Alpha Centauri however long we can live there for. Because otherwise, you know, that really doesn't make it, it doesn't really work. Now, I'm not even going to talk about, oh, fuck. I'm not even going to talk about time dilation. What did I pick up? I don't even remember. I literally don't remember what I just picked up. What is it? Oh, Rainbow Baby. Okay, yeah, that's what it is. Okay, anyway. So yeah. So forget about time dilation. I'm not even going to talk about that because that has inherent problems, but I'm talking more in the scope of genetic augmentation. One of the things that you can do, theoretically, is you can make it so that humans can hibernate, right? So you can give them frog genes. Now, certain types of frogs, I don't know if it's all frogs, it might be all frogs, but certain types of frogs, I know specifically, have the ability to be, you can just literally put them in a freezer, and they will just go into hibernation mode. They'll survive, and you can thaw them out, and they'll be totally cool. You can thaw them out and they'll be fine. Now, if you put that inherently into human genes, all of a sudden space travel over long distances becomes possible. Forget the time dilation aspect again, like I said, but other than that, long distance space travel suddenly becomes possible. Okay, full health is cool. I'll probably take that over the Hermit, obviously. But yeah, so the long distance space travel suddenly becomes possible. Interesting stuff. If you add that to the human gene structure, and there are loads of things you could do. There's regeneration. You know, there's the ability to grow back limbs and stuff in starfish and lizards that you could add to the human gene structure. There's all of these things. Now here's the thing. There's that's sort of the thing is genetic augmentation is sort of viewed by popular culture as alchemy or magic or something. That's our new thing. That's our thing to be afraid of. How you can know why that is the case. So when Spider-Man came out, it was the 60s, right? Everybody's afraid of nuclear war, right? That's sort of the idea, and no one really knows about how radioactivity works. Nobody really knows about how all those things are. That's all kind of magic to them. In the 60s, Spider-Man was bit by a radioactive spider. Now, you go fast forward to now, when they're coming out with new Spider-Man movies, the earlier one that came out by Sam Raimi, the newest one that was with Andrew Garfield. What is with these Curse of the Labyrinth floors? This is the wrong way. God damn it. I'm gonna pop my way out of here. I don't need to be here. So yeah. So even the new one with Andrew Garfield, the spider is not radioactive anymore because that sounds silly to us, right? The spider would just die. No, the spider is genetically augmented, and people in the theater eat that shit up. They're like, oh, it's genetically augmented, so if he gets bit by it, then yeah, then he can become Spider-Man, right? That makes sense. It doesn't really make sense, but that's just the kind of mentality that you have now with that kind of thing. So, until, basically, our generation dies, we're probably not going to see any movement on genetic augmentation, unfortunately. So, maybe we'll see it in our lifetime, but my guess is that people are not going to be open-minded enough to consider that an actual possibility. That's my guess, anyway. I hope I'm wrong. I really do, because there could be amazing things that can be done with genetic augmentation. I mean, we could really extend even life cycles. Wow, we should have taken damage there twice. Just by the way... but yeah, so we can extend lifetimes. We literally can. I mean, if we remove something like, I forget what it's called. It's not, I always think synesthesia, and that's not what it's called. But, wait, I think it's senescence? I think it's senescence. Or benescence? I'm not sure. But it's either senescence or something like that. But essentially it's, fucking hit him! Jesus Christ, we keep hitting the goddamn wall. Yeah, so I think it's senescence, and which is the process of aging. We can wow, all right, that was cool. But we could probably remove that. Remove the ability to age, and maybe fix that, right? Like maybe you grow to around 20 and then you don't age anymore. Like, that's a possibility. That's a thing that could be in our future. Now, obviously, that's a science fiction kind of thing. We don't really know whether or not we can do something like that. But that's the kind of shit, that's the kind of magic that the public thinks about genetic augmentation. Namely me. Since I'm obviously not a genetic scientist or anything. That's the kind of shit that sounds cool to me that they can do, probably. So... you know, it's just, it's interesting stuff. I mean, it can lead to a lot of advances in, basically humanity. There are going to be enhances in the human genome. We could just, like, the whole thing about genetics is it really is just, it's sidestepping evolution, which we're already doing. See, that's the important thing to keep in mind, is that that's usually the argument against it, right? Is that, oh, well, you're sidestepping evolution, you should let evolution naturally take its toll. Well, we're not. When you're taking medicine, like I said, when you're taking medicine, you are sidestepping evolution. You're already... people are going to survive that normally wouldn't have if we did not interfere. Animals as well. Those things would not have happened if we didn't interfere. If we didn't get medicine, then we wouldn't... those people wouldn't be alive. Diabetes wouldn't exist. Certain forms of cancer. AIDS wouldn't exist if we weren't treating them. All of these things would not exist anymore if we didn't have the potential to treat it. So we're already sidestepping evolution. We're already going ahead of it. We've been ahead of evolution this entire time. Look, if you wanted to be totally natural, then you wouldn't have a baby in a hospital, right? I mean, the thing that people... Did I take damage? Are you fucking kidding me? That's nonsense. Whatever. Anyway. Oh, God, that's bad. We're gonna die on this floor, by the way. But, probably not even gonna get to Isaac. Oh, God damn it. But, yeah, so you essentially, you would not even go to a hospital for anything. You would stop doing that. Because you would basically let nature take its toll. And how nature would take its toll, and how it does on animals in the wild, they just die. That's why the life expectancy of a fucking deer is much lower than the life expectancy of a fucking human. Obviously, there are various other reasons for that, but the one of the main ones is the lack of medical treatment, right? So that's sort of the thing. If you're concerned about nature and whether or not this is fair by nature or whatever, then stop using all the things that we normally use. You know what? The truth is, stop using clothes, too. You have to be naked as well. Because that's how nature intended. We weren't intended to... Oh, God. To... Well, here's the thing. This is sort of a... Here's a counter-argument to the nature argument. Well, nature gifted us with brains, and a frontal lobe, and the ability to think, and the ability to write, and the ability to communicate. By the way, those are all, like, areas in the brain, which is very interesting stuff. Are you fucking kidding me? It went through the rocks? This game sometimes, man. Oh, God. This is a bad room. This is a bomb-through room, is what it is. Honestly, we should have been bombing our way through all the other rooms. Anyway, so... The thing is... Oh, dear. Okay, let's... You know what? I'm gonna drop a bomb here. Not because I want to damage him with the bomb, but yeah, that worked. But I want to open up this pathway. So yeah. So nature gave us a frontal lobe, they gave us the ability to communicate, they gave us the ability to learn and use tools. So... Why not let the genetic augmentation, stuff like that, that's an extension of that, right? We are following nature because nature permitted us to have these kind of, the ability to do those kinds of things, to defeat nature, to go ahead of nature. So, I don't know. That's how I feel about it anyway. And that's how I'm gonna feel about it, bro. I'm gonna try to use... Oh, well. I said I'm gonna try to use as many bombs as possible. Oh, butts. We do, like, we do have Mr. Mega, so our bombs do extra damage and stuff. Which is nice. That's not gonna work. Alright. Oh, come on. I hate when they spawn on you. It's so frustrating. Nothing you can do about that, really. Yeah, we're gonna die now. Alright, we survived, surprisingly enough. Now that's if we can survive this, which I don't know if we can. Oh my god, he teleported into me. Almost did the damage to me. Oh, again, teleported right inside of me. That is unfair, is what it is. Wow, okay. Yeah, we'll take that. We'll take that. We'll... I can, theoretically... Fuck yeah, that's awesome. We'll live with all those things. We have extra damage now, with Blood of the Martyr, which is always nice. But we're probably gonna die here in the near future. So yeah, I don't know. All those things, they're all very interesting to me. And I don't know, it's the kind of thing that is intriguing. By the way, here's something that's interesting as well. Northern Lion mentioned this on Twitter. Apparently, YouTube now has a section in the gaming. Like, if you go to the gaming browse and you look for Binding of Isaac, they have a Binding of Isaac section now. And 3 people on there are me, Northern Lion, and Green, which is pretty funny. It's pretty cool, actually. I mean, I like. I mean, obviously, I'm kind of dig that. That's kind of really cool. I'm kind of pumped about that. But, you know, I just found it very interesting. Very odd. I wonder if that's really going to lead to anybody actually looking for, or, you know, finding me. I wonder. I'd have to guess probably not, but even so, that's interesting. I feel like you're moving up in the world, you know? That's how I feel anyway. We're moving up in the world. We at the alpacapatrol channel, which includes all of you, you beautiful, beautiful people, where we have intelligent conversations about things. By the way, yeah, new Cam-X Rob Season 2 up on the channel right now. Civilization 5. Everybody seems to like it. It has a lot of likes on it from what I can see, which is cool. And you know, usually it's a lot more on the first video than it is on future videos, which is fine. But you know, considering it's not been out that long, it's a lot more than I was honestly expecting. So. You know, that's something that's cool. We're probably gonna die in this room. Probably. Oops, a daisy. Obviously, I'm not gonna try to die or anything, but it's a distinct possibility. I mean, we only have to get hit once, and then we're done. Okay, gotta move on up towards your destination, because you may find from time to time complications. Alright, still good. Anyway, so yeah. That's a thing. I did not want to fight. I didn't want to take war down at all. I really didn't. No! We died! We have the Ankh, I forgot about that. Which is nice, but we have to fight through this room again. Unfortunate. You can't bomb your way through any rooms in the chest, by the way, so that's not actually an option for us, unfortunately. But yeah, I want to kill Pestilence first. Pestilence, I think, is our main goal first. Because with Pestilence down, then we don't have to worry about running around and running into bloodstains like we died before. That's what I was trying to do, but unfortunately, it did not work out that way. Anyway, whatever. We have poison bombs now, which is nice. That other bomb might hit me. No, okay, it didn't, luckily. But yeah. So yeah, that's cool. That's a cool thing. I don't know why that happened. I guess YouTube just added a Binding of Isaac section on the gaming browse thing, and you know, one of the 3 people on YouTube on there. Pretty excited. However, what I'm really sad about is it has my most recent videos that don't have fucking custom thumbnails. Now, I don't think I mentioned this, but the reason that the videos don't have... Alright, I'll take that. It's another hit, I suppose. But the reason I don't have custom thumbnails is not because I don't want them or anything. It's because I... Oh god. Oh dear. Oh, I should have totally taken the Polaroid. I don't know what I was thinking. Oh, he died. Yeah, the white heart doesn't count as a hit. Oh well. We were pretty close. We got to the second phase. That's cool. But yeah, the reason I don't have custom thumbnails is because YouTube decided, for some fucking reason, to disallow the use of custom thumbnails until after the video finishes processing. Now, here's the problem with me and that, is that, generally speaking, I upload a video, like I upload Isaac right after I do it. So after I finish this recording right now, I'm going to end it, I'm going to render it, and then I'm going to upload it, and then it's going to go up on the channel. That's how generally it works for me. I do this as a daily series because I like to see the custom challenges from the last day, and I like to respond to what a lot of people were saying in the comments, right? Now the problem is, now I can't do custom thumbnails because essentially I can't make it public. I have to wait for it to upload, and then the thing is it has to process, but then it has to process processing, because immediately after processing I can't add a custom thumbnail either. I have to wait a little while, like another half an hour. So basically this adds a half an hour on my time, and I have to babysit it. I have to look back at the thing in order to do it. So I just haven't been able to do it, especially since these videos have been coming out late. So like there's a lot of problems, and they just took it away. I don't know why. But it's sad because now on that fucking page, you don't have me with the custom thumbnails, you just have me with the, you know, Isaac look, which, it just looks so unprofessional, and I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. So hopefully they fix that soon, but they probably won't because YouTube's stupid. But anyway, all that doesn't really matter. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Post your custom challenge runs down below, and I'll do them as uploaded one. Hopefully this wasn't terribly boring. It might have been, and it might have been potentially unsettling for some. I didn't mean to offend, I'll be honest. But these are my personal opinions on whole genetic augmentation and all that. It's the sort of thing that's going to be debated forever. for a real long time. For the next 100+ years, I would imagine. Because it's going to be a thing that we can do now. And people are going to debate it. I don't know if they should debate it, but it's going to be a debate. Right? Because honestly, I don't find it to be a debatable thing. If you can make humanity better, like, that's the whole point of science, right? Science in general, the whole point of science is to progress the species, to make humanity better. Really, the only point of being alive is to progress the species, right? I mean, that's it. That's why reproduction is our, like, biological imperative, right? That's our natural instinctual god damn it, instincts are to reproduce. Right? Animals as well, and to survive as well. You survive so that you can reproduce and continue the species. That's the whole point. And the whole point of science is to progress the species. And honestly, this is just progression. This is the next step. Genetic augmentation. This is stepping ahead of evolution. And if it progresses the species, then I don't see what's wrong with it, really. Unless you're hurting people. I mean, there's obviously that, but I don't think you're really hurting anybody when you're doing genetic augmentation. So, I don't know. This is the kind of thing. It'll be debated for a long time, trust me. I mean, this is going to be a talking point. When I'm an old man, this is going to be a talking point in Congress, I bet you. But anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Post your custom challenge right down below. Do the most upvoted one. And check me out on the gaming browse section for Binding of Isaac. Anyway, this is Alpacapatrol signing out. Peace, fools.